looking out on the morning rain. I used to feel so uninspired until the day I met you. Life was so unkind. Your love. No, what's a better one? Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. There's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. I'll wake up in a doo-doo-doo-doo, hoka hey hey, hoka hey hey. Where's doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, la-dee-da, BOOZHOO! Welcome back to BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture and John Redcorn. Auntie and Uncle Hour, he says. BOOZHOO, John. Mino Giga Jabe. Giga Jabe. Good morning. Just thought I'd come out here and put out my tobacco before the sun comes up. The birds are noisy this morning. Hey, do you mind, B'nai Shiyag? I'm trying to say a prayer here. Gotta put up my tobacco. Where la 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 la. Osema. Osema. Tobacco. Great Spirit, accept my tobacco. Gitchimanadu. Otapana niwi asema. Please help me to speak well today. Dagawi dukawishan. Ando minawe nungum. Thank you for everything that you do. Miigwech kaiji kakina keku. Kaiji chikean nungum. And thank you for my life. Miigwech kaiji bamadaziyan. Amen. Apenge. Mukaam. Mukaam. That's the Ojibwe word for sunrise. Mukaam. My grandma and my great auntie and some of my family members too, but way back in the days of the grandfathers, there used to be a camp in Cass Lake called Mukaam Bible Camp or something. It might, actually I think it might even be a school. Some sort of churchy kind of school thing. But the kids used to go, all the Indian kids used to go there in the summers. Mukaam. Sunrise. Now there's a chapel called Mukaam Bible Chapel. Sunrise. There are two types of people. People who like the sunrise or people who like the sunset. You can't like them equally. And people who like the sunrise like to pretend that they're more ambitious. They go, hey, well, look at me. I'm up just early. Gonna get stuff done. Gonna go out fishing. You gotta get up early. Oh, look at me. I'm a farmer. Gonna go out and milk the cows because I'm up early and I'm all ambitious. Oh, look at me. Up and at 'em. Daylight in the swamps. But then there's those nighttime people. Oh, I like the sunset. I come alive at night. In the night, I will be waiting, ready to go soon as the daylight is fading. This is a poem by Paul Stanley, and it's called Creatures of the Night. These are the people who like the sunset. Creatures of the night. In the night, I will be waiting, ready to go soon as the daylight is fading. In the night, I will sooner to go, soon as daylight is in the night. My heart is beating. Time slips away. Can't fight the pain that I'm feeling or something. In the night, my heart is beating. Time slips away. If I can't pay, I will steal it. I want to know how far to go, taking my life in my hands. Ready to go. Baby, I know I'll be a desperate man. Okay, wait. That started out being Creatures of the Night and ended up being the song Danger. I don't know. Sometimes I think I don't even understand poetry at all. Although this morning I was singing an old David Bowie song and was reminded what a brilliant poet David Bowie was. The song is called Come and Buy My Toys. And these are the lyrics. Smiling girls and rosy boys, come and buy my little toys. Monkeys made of gingerbread and sugar horses painted red. Richmond's children running fast, their fathers dressed in holes. Muddy hair. Wait. Something about acres of mud on their shoes. Gazing eyes, running wild, past the stocks and over stiles. Kiss the window, merry child, but come and buy my toys. I mean, wow, take that, rappers. You tell the whole story of like some other time, some other world. You've watched your father plow the fields with a ram's horn, sowed it white with peppercorn, unfurled with a bramble thorn. Now your watching's over, you must play with girls and boys. Leave the parsley on the stool, but come and buy my toys. How do they write poems like that? You shall own a cambric shirt. You shall work your father's land. But now you will play in the market square until you become a man. I think colleges and poets ruin poetry for us because of people like Shakespeare and William Butler Yeats and all these so-called poets that we were taught in school. We all learned that poetry is confusing and boring from a time when people spoke weird. Meanwhile, you turn on your car radio and there's all this great poetry coming out of songs. But you teach, oh, that's not real poetry. That's David Bowie. You want to hear good poetry? Listen to this. Well, poetry is dead, and it was killed by poets and people at poetry readings. How about that? I want to go on record to say poetry readings are boring. Nobody wants to hear you read your poem at some cafe. We're just being nice, all right? It's not the same as singing a song. You can move people at a cafe by singing a song and playing the guitar. If you want to sing some poetry that way, great. Get up there. It's called open mic. But if you're going to go up there and read your poem that doesn't rhyme about nothing, nobody's paying attention. I have sat through so many bad poetry readings. Oh, the poetry slam, they used to call it. In the 90s, in English departments, they used to try to make poetry cool by going to like open mic nights. And we're having a poetry slam. You just run up there, read your poems, dress up in punk clothing, throw some stuff, I don't know. And everyone pretended they were like non-musical rock stars for a minute. Hey, I'm going to run up here and read my poem. Roses are red, violets are blue. Poetry readings are boring, and so are you. Get off the stage. I don't know. My favorite poems, though, are always like the most depressing death poems. That's what I like, death poems. Poems that talk about like the death of a pet. I'm never going to remember it. But we did a poem here once where it was called Tribute to a Best Friend. If I can remember how it starts, maybe I could remember. Feet. Nope, I'm not going to remember. Maybe we could play it later. It's a super sad poem. Nanaboozhoo reads it. There's another poem we did once that was what I meant to say. What I meant to say was, it was all about this guy who left his mom's house and was just kind of like, yeah, see you later. But then by the time he got home, he thought about all the things he wanted to say. He was like, what I meant to say was, how can I ever say goodbye to the first person to hold me, the first person to feed me, and the first person to ever make me feel loved. And he goes on and on about how much he loves his mom. By the end, you're crying, going, this is the most beautiful poem I've ever heard. What I meant to say. But sadly, most of us learned to close our minds to poetry because of what we're taught in school. School taught me to hate reading and hate poetry. Pop music taught me to love poetry. Whatever. Oh, well, I suppose. I wonder what that old Nanaboozhoo's doing. We're going to do a live stream this morning. Get on YouTube's. I guess we're on YouTube now, but I just wanted to come out here and put out my tobacco. Maybe connect with the creator. I don't know. I hope I'm connecting with the creator. I like the idea that we have guardian angels. I don't know how they know this. But some people say, yeah, everybody has at least one guardian angel, maybe a couple. They're always with you. Like, what? Really? How come they never say anything or show themselves? Oh, they're invisible and mute. But they're there. Oh. Who are they? Are they my ancestors? Grandma? Is that you? Are they just, is this what happens when we die? We get assigned to a living person. We just got to sit with them for their whole lives? I hope not. Guardian angels. Some people have mentioned they've seen angels or spirits in their houses right before somebody passes away. Some people say before you die, spirits come to you to help you on your journey. And like the elders will see them, and the dog will see them. He'll just start barking into nothing. But we can't see them. Actually, I remember when my grandma was preparing to start her journey. There was one night there where she was just staring over my shoulder, and she kept saying, I gotta go. It's time to go. I gotta get out of here. I'm like, no, Grandma, sit down. Get back in bed. You're old and sick. She was like, no, I gotta go. And she kept looking over my shoulder. I had to look. I said, what's she looking at? Well, I think there were spirits there going, come on, Leona. It's time to go. Let's go. Leave your body there in the bed. We got to go up to heaven. You know. I don't know. Some people talk about muses. That we have a little spirit that can inspire us. Help you write a poem, sing a song, come up with a joke, whatever it is. It's called your muse. I don't know. Don't know much about history. And don't know much about biology. But I do know 1 and 1 are 2. Hoka hey. Do 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 do. Somewhere over the rainbow. I kind of wanted to talk about children's books this morning, but I didn't get around to it. I was going to talk about the book Corduroy. Remember Corduroy? About that little teddy bear? Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I guess I better go call up old Nanaboozhoo. Boop, boop, boop. Beep, beep. Beep, beep.
Bonjour.
Hi, sweetie.
Well, good morning, Natasha. What are you doing?
I'm outside. I said a prayer and then tried to remember some poems.
Oh, well, that's one way to do it.
Yeah.
Want me to pick you up?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, hang on. I got to scan for your coordinates.
All right.
Now, don't move. I'm locking in on your coordinates.
Okay. Coordinates. That's a hard word to say.
Yeah, I know, huh? All right, one to teleport.
Make it so, number 1. I was made for loving you, baby.
You were made for loving me.
And I can't get enough of you, baby.
Can you get enough of me?
Or the rock star cartoonist, Michael Lyons. Hey, Michael, what's going on?
Oh, not much. Just sitting here having my coffee.
Yeah, I noticed you guys got me a cup of coffee. Thank you. Me gwetch. Did you put any sugar and milk and sugar in here?
No, I left it black. I thought that's the way you took it.
Yeah. I like my coffee like I like my men. Hot, black, bitter.
Hey.
Oh, that's really good coffee, miigwech. Thank you. So, what do you think, fellas? Should we start a show?
Yeah, sure. You want me to hit the intro music?
If you would, maestro. Nah.
All right, hang on. There you go.
BOOZHOO! And welcome back to the show. Welcome back to BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture and poetry. Huh.
Yep.
And rock and roll music.
Yep.
Or soft rock or whatever. Acoustic music. My name is Natasha. Natasha, Nindishin, Kaz. This over here is Nanaboozhoo.
Okay.
This over here is Michael Lyons, the rock star cartoonist.
Hey everyone, good morning.
And today is a very special day, sweetie.
Is it really?
Yeah. Today's Friday. I've got Friday on my mind. Nano Geisha good. The 5th day or Friday. Nano Geisha good. You got Beishigo, Nisho, Nisweo, Niwino, Nano. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. This is the 5th day. It's the 5th day of the week. For some people, it's payday. It's Good Friday when it's payday.
Yep.
And today, our Ojibwe. Oh, this is what I want to talk about. This is really important.
What is it?
Have you noticed how many stores in Bemidji have BOOZHOO on the doors these days?
Yeah, they put that up a number of years ago.
In Bemidji, there's a lot of us Anishinaabe wandering around. And somebody got a grant or something to hang up all these Ojibwe signs. And so all the stores, you know how I'll have like the English side will say, enter. And then the Ojibwe side will say, BOOZHOO. I'm like, well, that's nice, I suppose. But BOOZHOO doesn't mean enter. Bindigain means enter. If somebody knocks at your door and it's just one person, you'd say, Bindigain, enter, come in, Bindigain. If there's like a big group of people, say the mob shows up.
The mob?
Or a mob, you know, pitchforks, torches, and they want to drag you out and tar and feather you.
Why would they want to do that?
I don't know. Maybe they don't care for some of your jokes.
Okay.
Well, if they come to your door, and it's a whole bunch of people, you got to say, Bindigag, enter everybody.
If people are showing up at my house with pitchforks and torches, I'm not going to let them in.
Well, that's just rude.
Well, yeah, but, you know, they can stay out.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Which brings me to my next Ojibwe, a bin. Say somebody comes into your store and he's like, hey, a bin, sit down. Or sit. Sit. But if everybody comes in and they've got their torches and their pitchforks, and you want to serve them like coffee and tea and cookies,
Yeah.
you would say, a big. Everybody here. It all goes down to that bigger bin. Now, if you go to a Ojibwe school, you're going to hear Nabada bin. Sit down. Sit down, Nabada bin. But if your teacher knows Ojibwe, they should say Nabada big. Nabada big. Sit down, everybody. Ig. Sit down, all y'alls. As they would say in the South.
Sit down, all y'alls.
Sit down, all y'alls. Why don't you sit down? Have some coffee with Nanaboozhoo and Michael Lyons and me. Oh, my stars. Oh, Niwi Anagoog. What's good coffee? And these are just a couple of Ojibwe words of the day. Now it's time to leave. Majan. Leave. When you're telling someone to leave, you go, Majan. Go on now. Or you can say, go on now. That's also a Ojibwe for leave. But if you wanted to tell that whole mob of angry whatevers, you'd say, Majag. Everybody leave. Get out of here, you guys. I'm just trying to have coffee with my sweetheart. Why are you guys constantly stopping in? Oh, we're the BOOZHOO crew. Yeah, well, we need a little privacy. I'd appreciate it if you'd go watch Joe Rogan or something. He's going to be on there smoking pot or something. Go watch Joe Rogan. Leave, everybody. Majag.
Hey, don't tell them that.
What? I just want some private time. You too, third wheel.
Hey,
No, I'm just kidding. Please don't leave. We like it that you're here. Have some coffee with us. But, Majan, or, as we've said before, if you're from Cass Lake, the term is, well, I suppose it's time I Majan. It's time to mosey on. Majan. But it's Majan. Leave. What if you're telling people? Majag. All yells. Leave. Get out. It's closing time. Closing time. One last call for alcohol. Hoka hey, whistling. Whistling. Eat. You're skin and bones. You too skinny.
what?
You're too skinny. Too skinny. Whistling. Eat, everyone. Come eat. I've made enough for everybody. We got tuna noodle casserole. No. Whistling is eat for one. Whistling is for two people. And these have been just a couple of Ojibwe phrases of the day. To learn more about Ojibwe, what should a person do if they want to learn Ojibwe?
They should go become friends with an Ojibwe speaker.
Oh, like it's so easy to find Ojibwe speakers who you'd want to be friends with.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh yeah, I want to become friends with this elder and Inger. Hi, Grandpa. I notice you speak Ojibwe. Let's be friends. No, you gotta get on the internet.
Yeah,
I don't know. What are we talking about?
I have no idea.
Okay. Is there a fireplace on?
I don't think so.
There we go. It got muted. Awas, go away, says Surrealist. Awas. It's like, go on. Yeah, awas is another way to say leave. Awas. Bonjour, Surrealist. Hey, Grassroots is here too, sweetie.
Grassroots, bad auntie hoa.
Yeah, I'm your bad auntie. Every kid needs one mean auntie. Somebody who's not afraid to slap them around a little bit. In the old days, I heard this once. It was actually the uncles who had to discipline the children. Mom and dad, they make it mad. They go, you're in trouble now. Wait till I tell your uncle. And uncle would come over and go, what'd you do? Oh, man. Okay, well, here's your punishment. But I bet you the aunties had their 2 cents worth, too. We used to kind of delegate out family stuff like that. When they say, oh, it takes a village to raise a child. Yeah, it takes your aunties and uncles to slap them around for you. Tell them what's up. But sometimes it's your auntie and uncles, too, who will introduce you to good bands.
Yeah, you can learn a lot from your aunties and uncles.
Yeah. It was my aunties who introduced me to comic books.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Auntie Robin, Uncle Kevin. They were into comics and scary movies and stuff. When I was a little girl, my aunties and uncles would let me stay up late. We'd watch those old scary TV shows like Creature Feature, Shock Theater.
Oh, yeah, those are great.
So I remember watching the old Frankenstein, Dracula, and actually the thing that screwed me up forever, I never got over, was when we watched The Exorcist. I don't know how old I was, but I was still losing baby teeth. I do remember that. The Exorcist, if you're a kid, came out in the old days, and it was like one of the first really scary demon possession movies. And so when I was a little girl, my insane aunts and uncles sent me down to watch The Exorcist in this old, scary house that my Uncle Kevin said had buried bodies underneath it.
Really?
Yeah. He'd go down the basement, goes, yeah, you see that cement slab? We got bodies underneath there. And I'd be like, really? Oh, no. Yeah, sometimes they come up and, he's always trying to scare me. He's a creep. But I remember watching The Exorcist. And there's, as a little girl gets possessed by a demon. She starts puking up pea soup and stuff, and her head spins around. I was just crying. I was so afraid. I don't even know if I stayed till the end of the movie. I think I made him shut it off. Eventually, I saw the whole movie. Horrible. Traumatic. You shouldn't show kids. Kids shouldn't watch scary movies. I think it's traumatic. But, who am I to tell you how to raise your kids? Here, kids, why don't you watch this? It's called Faces of Death. Happy birthday. Remember that?
Oh, those are the worst.
Anybody remember Faces of Death? In the 80s, I remember they used to rent VHS movies at the local store in LaPorte. Tiny little grocery store. LaPorte had a population. Hey, LaPorte's growing, by the way.
Is it really?
Yeah, I drove through there the other day, and it's like a population of 150 or something.
No kidding.
Yeah. But when I was a girl, back in the 80s, they would rent movies at the grocery store. And they didn't have a whole lot of movies. It wasn't like Blockbuster. They had like maybe 20 movies just on display. It's like, here you go. Would you like to watch Vacation, Ghostbusters, or, Faces of Death 1 through 4? I was horrified. I was like, why do you have Faces of Death, if you don't know, is just a collection of things, people and animals getting killed violently. I saw 5 minutes of one of them once at a party. One of my stupid high school friends yeah, come on over to my house. I'm going to have a little social gathering. We'll have some refreshments, some cocktails at happy hour, whatever. And I get over there and it's a bunch of guys sitting around a table, getting drunk, watching Faces of Death on the television. And all it was, they had videos of some backwards country like India, where they had a monkey in the middle of this table, and his head was in a hole. And they'd pass around this hammer and smack the monkey on its head until it died. And then they'd eat its brains. Oh yes, in India, a monkey brain is a delicatessen. You know what? I'm like, what? I don't want to watch a monkey get killed.
What about cows and chickens?
I don't want to watch them get killed either. I'll eat them, but I'm not going to eat monkey brains. I don't care what you say.
Yeah, I'm not eating monkey brains either.
I don't know. But anyway, I made him shut that off. Why am I talking about Faces of Death?
I don't know.
Hey, you want your show back?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Hey, everyone. Thank you for listening to my crazed diatribe. Up next, we have the star of the show, NANABOOZHOO. But first, here's a song I'd like to share with you. This song was written by a band called Coldplay. After our video airs, we're gonna have to share the 25 cents of ad revenue with Coldplay's publishing company because of copyright stuff. But this is a song called Fix You. When you try your best, but you don't succeed. When you get what you want, but not what you need. When you feel so tired, but you can't sleep. You're stuck in reverse. Stuck in reverse. Lights will guide home and ignite Michael's bones.
Hey.
And I will try to fix you. I'm gonna try to fix you guys, but don't hold me to it. You guys might be too far gone. I might have to trade you in for a newer model. Miigwech Bizzadawi Egg. Thank you for listening. When you try your best but you don't succeed, when you get what you want but not what you need, when you feel so tired but you can't sleep, stuck in reverse, and tears come streaming down your face, when you lose something you can't replace, when you love someone but it goes to waste. Could it be worse? Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you. And high above or down below, when you're too in love to let it go, when you never try, you'll never know just what you're worth. Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones. I will try to fix you.
How little you are. This would be a good spot for like a guitar solo.
Yeah. Lights will guide you home and
is such a beautiful song.
Oh, thanks.
And there's Michael in the background. Needing a shave. Yeah, no kidding. Okay, hey, BOOZHOO everyone. How you doing? Let me straighten myself out here. Good morning, and welcome to the Serious Ojibwe Language and Culture Podcast. Today we will discuss the very serious issues of the day and learn the Ojibwe words of the day. I'm all business now.
Okay.
I gotta get a tie and a jacket. How you doing? Come in. Bind again. Enter. Enter thou. That's what my brother used to say when we were kids. I'd knock on his door, and he'd act like a big shot in his stupid little room. He'd be all like, enter thou. I'd be like, hey, Mom says get washed for supper. And he'd like dismiss me. Been the gig. Hey, everybody, come on in. Come on in, everybody. Oh, John Redcorn.
What did John do?
Gave us $5 super chat.
John, thank you so much.
Miigwech, John. You can always count on that old Niji for a little Junia.
A little Junior.
The journey is never over. It's just the beginning. Yeah. How about that, sweetie?
Hey, Brian Maynard just gave us $1.99.
Nice. Miigwech, Brian. You see what these guys are doing? Leave it to the men.
What?
Men are always better tippers.
No, they're not.
Yeah, we are. I remember my grandma. I used to be embarrassed. She never wanted to tip much. We'd go out. She'd spend $30 on breakfast for the two of us, and then want to leave like a $2 tip. I'd be like, Grandma, that's not even 10%. And she goes, when I was a waitress, you'd be happy to get a quarter. And I'd be like, yeah, that was in the 40s, Grandma. And like I'd throw a 10 down, and she'd say, no, don't do that. And she'd pick it up. I'd have to throw it down behind her back. But Brian, thank you very much. So the guys are tipping us. This is super chats. If you'd like to support the show, you can super chat it up. Share list. John Redcorn is awesome. And Brian J. Mader. See? Yeah, actually talk about tipping. Old Sherry list here is the king tipper.
That's true.
Anyway, we really appreciate it. Miigwech. Yesterday was a big day for us here at the NANABOOZHOO studios.
Yeah, it was.
We somehow worked out a gig where the community radio station pays us to make 2 videos every month just for them. And they're just little 8-minute pre-recorded stuff, kind of like what we do here, words of the day, a few jokes, whatever. I might tell a story, how beaver got its tail or whatever. And but yesterday we finished that up, and then we had to record 2 radio spots. And then you have to do all the computer stuff to mix it down. You can't just email videos. You got to put it into the Google Dropbox or whatever. It's a whole thing. But when we were done, by the time I went to bed last night, we had made more money yesterday than I would have made working 2 weeks as an Ojibwe language teacher in a high school.
Yeah.
And the teaching jobs paid well. I saw somebody was crying around on Facebook. It said on Time Magazine, and it showed a teacher. She goes, I teach full time. I have 2 other outside jobs, and I sell plasma just to get by. I'm a teacher in America. And I'm like, Okay, well, what's your shopping habit like, lady? Because I don't know where you're teaching, but when I taught, it was the best paying job I had ever had, with the best hours and a 3-month paid vacation every summer. But when Michael took his permanent leave of absence from that last job you had, yeah, we weren't sure if we'd be able to, do the show and support ourselves in that. But because of the generous support of viewers like you and the Children's Television Workshop, they have nothing to do with us. Yeah, I know. But we're doing this. We're going on our 3rd year. We just completed 2 years of, can we call it self-sufficiency if we're just living off of the goodwill of our viewers? Well, yeah, we're profiting. Yeah. Blessings to the teachers. Blessings to my teachers. I had some good teachers. I had some bad teachers, but I had a really good kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Haley. Yeah. Did you have any good teachers growing up?
I had a pretty good teacher, English teacher in high school.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Did he teach you how to read?
No, I knew how to read. No, he was just a good guy.
Teacher, teacher, won't you teach me? I learned more. I learn from the children.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I teach them well, and I let them lead the way.
No, you don't.
Whitney Houston did.
Yeah, she did, huh?
I believe the children are future. Hey, teacher, leave them kids alone. Actually, my teachers are more like the teachers from the Pink Floyd videos.
No, they weren't.
Yep. It was all, we don't need no... Oh, what do we have here? Nanaboozhoo fancies himself a poet. Gets shamed for being creative. They were trying to make me conform. LaPorte High School, we all had to wear uniforms. Everyone had the same haircut. When we got done, we all worked in the coal mines.
You guys did not.
Oh, wait, was that a Bruce Springsteen video?
Yeah.
I sometimes confuse my childhood with Bruce Springsteen videos. So I didn't get Mary pregnant, and man, that was all she wrote.
Nope.
Oh, okay. That's probably my favorite Bruce Springsteen song.
What's that?
The River. Then I got Mary pregnant, and man, that was all she wrote. And for my 18th birthday, I got a union card and a wedding coat. Those memories come back to haunt me. They haunt me like a curse. Mary acts like she don't remember. Or is it something worse? I don't know. Something like that. But I remember hearing that song when I was a kid and going, man, that'd be tough. You got your high school girlfriend pregnant, and then you had to go work in the iron whatever. But then I became old, and I was like, wait a second. He was going to have a baby, and he got a union card, so he got a job with the union right away. And they threw him a wedding well enough that he got a coat. You know, as a teenager, I thought, oh, that's a depressing song. As a middle-aged guy, I'm like, hey, good for you, son. Got married and had a baby and got a job. Keep up the good work. Bruce. I like She's the One by The Boss. She's the one. I don't know. Is that anything like Secret Garden? She'll let you in the house with a hammer and a mouse. She'll let you through the door and she'll throw you to the floor.
That's not how it goes.
Yeah, no. I remember liking that song, but now I can't remember it. Into the secret garden. He had some great songs later in life that nobody cared about. The album The Ghost of Tom Joad, that was really good.
Yeah, huh?
Hey, MJ's here, sweetie.
Well, BOOZHOO, MJ.
What's going on? Welcome back to the show. We're just having coffee and talking about Bruce Springsteen. Who else were some teachers in your life?
Do celebrities count?
Did they teach you something?
Well, some musicians taught me stuff. Like, I learned a lot about how to play guitar from Ani DeFranco.
Really?
Yeah. Because Ani DeFranco was a girl, too.
Yep.
And I got kind of small hands.
Mm-hmm.
So when I learned her songs, I learned a lot of, like, cool guitar cheat things, chording and stuff.
Well, there you go. Natasha's teacher was Ani DeFranco. Yeah, I learned a lot about guitar from Paul Stanley, I suppose. No, not really. He played electric. I learned a lot about songwriting from Kiss and David Bowie. But I probably learned more about guitar from Jim Croce, finger picking and stuff. Bowie. But I learned how to love by listening to old Bee Gees albums.
Really?
Yep. A certain kind of light that shines on me. What more could it be if I ain't got you?
Ain't got you.
Baby, you don't know what it's like.
Baby, you don't know what it's like
To love somebody
the
way I love her.
Nah.
Actually, that song's about having a crush on somebody who doesn't love you back.
Yeah.
I should give advice to young men. Here you go. For a change, this is Uncle NanaBOOZHOO's moment of Nabwakawin.
Okay.
NanaBOOZHOO's moment of wisdom. Nabwakawin. Fellas, young men, sit down on the floor there. Take a knee. Your Uncle NanaBOOZHOO has some good advice for you. If you love somebody, but you don't think they love you back, one thing that won't work, and I think Michael could probably back me up on this. Correct me if I'm wrong. Drawing cartoons for the girl you love isn't going to make them love you if they don't love you. Is that your experience? Yeah, you can draw all the cartoons you want. You can even make them a character in your strip. And they'll always appreciate it. In fact, the first comic book I ever did was a gift to a girl I liked. Oh, really? Yep. I was like in the 5th grade, I think. I did a full comic book of cartoons, comic strips with a cover, and I stapled it and colored it in, and I gave it to this girl. And she was very nice about it, but she didn't understand that it was like me giving her a dozen roses. Yeah. Women, you got to be direct and traditional. They're not going to pick up on little subtle hints from your broken cartoonist heart. You like somebody, you walk up, hey, don't try to become their friend. Boys and girls can't be friends.
Boys and girls can't be friends?
Nope.
But I thought we're friends.
Oh, we're totally not friends. We're sweethearts. That's a different thing. We're on a different level. I mean, you can be friends only with women you don't like. If there's a woman in your life that you respect, you think is funny maybe, you enjoy being around, but you don't actually like them, you're not attracted to them, you find them gross, they seem like one of your guy friends, okay, then you can be friends with them. Otherwise, if you like the girl, be upfront. That should be the first question you should ask a new woman in your life should be, do you have a boyfriend? Hello, my name's NanaBOOZHOO. Do you have a boyfriend? If they say yes, move on. But they might go like, hey, well, let's be friends. I was like, no, sorry. I can't be friends with girls. I got a sweetheart. I'm looking for a second girlfriend. Not. But be upfront. Let them know exactly how you feel. It's not embarrassing. It's not that shameful to go, hey, you know what? I'm single. Are you single? You know, should we explore that? Because if they don't like you, they will convince themselves that you pose no threat. That you just want to be friends. And guys, let's face it. You know, your guy friends are your friends because they're hilarious. Okay? They're funny. They make you laugh. That's why they're your friends. Those girls, they're not usually that funny, are they? You know, girls are built to be loved, not liked. I don't know what I'm saying. And this has been Uncle Nanaboozhoo's moment of wisdom. You like a girl, tell them directly. Don't become their best friend. Don't become their knight in white. They're not going to eventually warm up to the idea of you because they respect your drawing ability. Women don't care about drawing abilities. Michelangelo never got one girl.
Really?
Nope. Michelangelo was a bachelor.
Was he really?
I don't know. I always pictured him a bachelor.
Really?
Well, I never thought about it till this second, but I bet you he was. I think great artists never get married. Michael's not married. That's right. I'm a rock star cartoonist. See? That's what I'm saying. And this has been your pointless ramblings from your Uncle Nanaboozhoo. To learn more about Ojibwe language and culture, you can order Michael's book, Ojibwe Words and Phrases. Although it's really our book, isn't it?
Yeah, it's our book.
BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, on behalf of myself, Nanaboozhoo, and the lovely and talented Natasha. For a limited time only, from this day until the ending of the world, Ojibwe Words and Phrases will be available at Amazon.com. We also have books by Michael Lyons in Ojibwe language. Michael Lyons is the author and illustrator of Corduroy. No, I'm not. You're not? No, I wish I was. Oh. Corduroy is also available on Amazon.com. And for my money, Corduroy is a better book. Hey, well, it is. What, you're going to compare yourself to this guy? This is Don Freeman. Or Fetterman, or whatever his name was. Tune in tomorrow for a special... unless I can find it right now, sweetie.
You're acting crazy.
I know, sweetie. If I can find the corduroy video, that one time we snagged it off the internet, I want to play it. But this is the kind of thing we should have prepared for. Hey, what's this? I've got Where the Wild Things Are.
Let's read Where the Wild Things Are.
Okay. Hold on, I gotta shut off the audio. Where the Wild Things Are. Oh, okay, there's no audio. Good. Hang on. Here's a story for the kids. Back in the days of the grandfathers, I went to kindergarten. It's true.
I know you did. This is a funny way to start a story.
When I was in kindergarten, once in a while they had a special thing where they'd hand out this magazine, and they said, you can pick a book of your own that you can order. Bring this form home, have your mom give you a check or whatever, and bring it back, and you can order a book. And the first book I ever ordered was Where the Wild Things Are. See, now I got to find a cover to Where the Wild Things Are. And quite frankly, Where the Wild Things Are is probably a satanic book anyway, but still.
You think it's a satanic book?
Yeah. I don't know why, it's every person in America who's ever lived has read this book. And why is it that Moloch is the main character? Where the Wild Things Are. Stories and pictures by Maurice Sendak. Maurice Sendak was a fantastic artist, I think. Just a great cartoonist. And he wrote the book, and he colored it in, and he illustrated it and everything. So let's read this real quick. Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. Where the Wild Things Are. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind and another, he's going to fork that dog. His mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, I'll eat you up. And so he was sent to bed without eating anything. Go to bed, little brat. Going to be that way to your mom. That very night, in Max's room, a forest grew. Now check that out. And grew. I've always loved how he did that. And grew until his ceilings hung with vines and the walls became the world around him. Just by using his imagination, everything changed. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through night and day. And in and out of weeks and almost over a year to where the wild things are. Check that demon out. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, and they roared their terrible roars, and gnashed their terrible teeth, and rolled their terrible eyes, and showed their terrible claws. You would get it, they're terrible. Yellow eyes. There's Baphomet riding on the back of that one. Till Max said, be still, and tamed them with a magic trick of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all. He turned it around on them. He scares them. And made him king of all the wild things. And now, cried Max, let the wild rumpus start. That's what I say before we go on live streams. And then they are, in a powwow. They're dancing.
Is that a powwow dance?
Yep, it's grand entry. Here they are swinging from the trees, just partying up all night. I guess they're just, that one guy with the human feet, he's just hanging there. Bullhead, human feet. They all have horns, like Satan. And then there's these like crossbred, horrible things. Now stop, Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. Oh, just like his mom. And Max, the king of all the wild things, was lonely, and he wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then all around, from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat, so he gave up being king. But the wild things cried, oh, please don't go, we'll eat you up, we love you so, you're delicious. Max said, no. And the wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth, and on, but Max stepped onto his private boat and waved goodbye. Kigawabamin, Minawa, he said. I will see you again. I'm Max, the dog forking boy. And he sailed back over a year, and in and out of weeks, and through a day, and into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. Supper's waiting for him weeks later, and it was still hot somehow. And there's the back cover. And it's Where the Wild Things Are. Oops, that's a little cutie. Where the Wild Things Are. Story and pictures by Maurice Sendak. Now the thing is, I never got over this book.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Once I'd read that book, everything I drew in kindergarten, my teacher told me this years later, She goes, yeah, every time you handed in something, you'd have your name, and then you'd draw a little picture for me, but then the characters always had horns, fangs, and pointy ears.
Oh, really?
Yep. Because of that book. I always had to draw monsters after that. Some guys only open their mouths long enough to change feet. Yeah, no kidding. That's me. I open my mouth long enough to put a second foot in there. That thunder in your heart at night when you're kneeling in the dark says you're never going to leave her. But there's this angel in her eyes that tells such desperate lies, and you want to believe her. That's beautiful. Is that Bruce Springsteen? There's thunder in your heart at night when you're kneeling in the dark says you're never going to leave her. I bet you that's Bruce Springsteen. Snow on Skin is a great book by the multi-talented rock star cartoonist Michael Lyons. Hey, thanks, Surrealist. Snow on Skin. That's also a song you wrote. Yeah. On the Dark Side. Oh, yeah, by Eddie and the Cruisers. On the Dark Side. There's a great scene in Family Guy where Peter's playing in a band or something. He goes, do we have any requests? And that guy from Star Wars, the Sith Lord or whatever, he goes, play On the Dark Side by Eddie and the Cruisers. It's like, oh yeah, okay. Come to the dark side. Well, I suppose, huh, sweetie? I suppose. You want to add anything before we mahjong? Before we leave? It's time that we mahjong. It's time we should be going. All right, everybody. Natasha, Michael Lyons, Emily, Mukwa, Benjamin, everybody. Leave. Mahjong.
That's not very nice.
Should I sign out in a nicer way?
Yeah, I think you should.
Hey, everybody, from the bottom of my heart, in all seriousness, I want to say miigwech. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by and sharing your time with us. Maybe having a cup of coffee with us. A cup of the old black medicine water. You're the reason we get up out of bed in the morning. And we really appreciate you being here. My name is NanaBOOZHOO. This is Natasha.
Miigwech, everybody. Miigwech, kakita awiya. Thank you, everybody.
This is Michael Lyons, the rock star cartoonist. Thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow. And I will see you again. Gigawabamin. Hey, sweetie, you want to teleport me?
You got it.
See you tomorrow.
When to teleport?
Make it so number one.
No.